Welcome to the Social University podcast. We are so glad you're joining us today because we want to help business owners, entrepreneurs, and people just like you who want to build their business online. Listen, if we can do it, you can do it. So let's go.
Good morning. Welcome to What's Up Wednesday, where we come to you live every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. And on this Wednesday morning, 10:15 a.m. because, things happen. I'm Karen Gerardis with Social U, and let's go ahead and jump in. It is Mental Health Month. We are going to be talking about mental health as it relates to your life online for the next few weeks. Today, we are going to talk about burnout because, boy, is that real, especially as a small business owner or a nonprofit where you just, and we've all been there where you just get to the point you're like, I cannot make one more post. We're going to talk about FOMO. We're going to talk about getting rid of your toxic habits, stepping away from being online, all of the things. We're going to cover those this month. Today is burnout. First and foremost, social media overwhelm is a very real thing. You have, especially as a small business owner, or if it's your job as a social media manager, there are going to be days when you just don't have it in you. So I want to talk first and foremost about recognizing what burnout looks like. If you're feeling overwhelmed, I'm going to talk about the top 10 signs so that you can understand that's what you're experiencing. When you feel overwhelmed or anxious, even thinking about going on social media can trigger feelings of stress or dread or obligation. You might feel like you can't keep up with the constant flow of information and updates. And that happens to me. I've experienced almost all of these. I'm happy to tell you that's where I am in life. It's sometimes you just get overwhelmed. The second thing is decreased productivity. You find it harder to focus, harder to do tasks. You're constantly thinking about or checking on social media. This can lead to procrastination and drop your overall productivity, whether it's personal or professional. And I'll be the first person to tell you, if you know me in real life, I don't post on my personal profiles because by the time I get done with work, I don't want to be on my personal profiles. I do that actually kind of quite a lot. Now I'll do research and I'll log in so I can do things for work through my profile, but it's very rare for me to do personal. It's just rare for me to do personal online. Number 3, neglecting real life relationships or responsibilities. When was the last time you doom scrolled instead of going to bed? Yesterday? Okay, yeah, me too. You might find yourself choosing social media over spending time with loved ones, or to me, even worse, you're in the middle of spending time with loved ones and you're still on social media. Step away from the phone. It's okay to actually have real world interaction, but sometimes it's more appealing than talking to somebody in real life. Number 4, compulsive checking, where you have that persistent urge, that need to check your social media feeds, even when you know there's probably nothing new since the last time you went on. And this becomes an automatic habit that you struggle with. I think that's one of the draws of Instagram and TikTok is because the feed changes so regularly and the For You is always different and unique. So people are much more likely to be on it. Emotional exhaustion. You feel drained, fatigued, emotionally depleted after spending time on social media. Stuff that once made you feel joy online now just kind of feels like a burden. Number 6 is irritability and cynicism. You might find yourself becoming more easily agitated, frustrated, negative about things that you see on social. And you can develop a cynical view. During the last election, I got overwhelmed. I kept hearing so much information from both sides. It was overwhelming to me. And I just had to take a step back from being on social because I couldn't hear anything else negative on either side. I just couldn't do it. Number 7, sleep disturbances. I think I've touched on this already. Late night scrolling is very bad for your sleeping patterns. You want to check notifications, but they can interfere with bedtime and lead to difficulty falling asleep, staying asleep, feeling rested. The screen itself, if you don't have that feature turned on your phone, I highly recommend it, where at a certain time at night, the screen changes so it's less, it interferes with your brain, your eyesight less. It's helpful. And we could probably put a link to a video for how to do that in our notes, and we will do that. Number 8, physical symptoms. Social media burnout can manifest in physical ways like headaches, eye strain, digestive issues, weakened immune system. I have developed issues in my hands from holding my phone too long. Yes, it's my job, but I mean, it still doesn't feel good in my hands. So physical symptoms. FOMO is real. I'm going to get into FOMO more in a couple of weeks, but if you feel like if you're feeling burned out and you're still experiencing a heightened fear of missing out on important things online or a trend, or if you're feeling disconnected, it creates a cycle of reluctant engagement, which is very bad for your mental health. And then 10, you have a loss of interest in other activities. You might find hobbies and activities that you once enjoyed just no longer are appealing. And it really has had a very negative impact on attention span. When was the last time you sat down and watched a movie or a TV show without picking up your phone? Just asking. So yeah, these are the signs so you can recognize it, because that's the first step towards addressing the burnout and finding a healthier balance. So now that you know how to recognize it, I want to talk about the top 10 tips to find a healthier balance. First and foremost, you have to be mindful of your usage. I cringe when I see that report on Sunday come up on my phone. You spend this many hours a day on your phone. It's overwhelming. You have to pay attention to how much time you're truly spending on social media. Smartphones have built-in features that track app usage, that provide valuable insight. My team uses a tool called Toggle. It shows you how long you're on and where you're spending your time. You may not realize you're spending 2 hours a day on Facebook until you track it. And if you have an iPhone, check your iPhone to see if that's the case. See how long you are spending. Set time limits, establish daily limits for specific social media apps. And we're going to talk about healthy mental health apps. And there's one in particular that helps you kind of stay away from your phone for, pieces of time so that you're not overwhelmed constantly and that you're not, you're using your phone settings, or you're using a third-party app so you can enforce these boundaries that you've set for yourself. Number 3, you want to designate tech-free zones and times. Like if I'm paying to go to a movie, I'm not picking up my phone. If I am sitting down to a dinner table, especially if I'm out in public, I'm not going to pick up my phone. I want to be with the person I'm with at the moment. I want to engage with that person. So designating tech-free zones and times, you want to create those rules for when you're not online, so that you can enjoy the moment that you're in, the conversation that you're in. Turn off non-essential notifications. I say this often, in Facebook especially. You need Business Suite so that it's a business notification instead of a personal notification. So I can have 100 personal notifications, but I know if it's for work, I need to check it because, it's for work. But you have to know. And part of knowing that is turning off those non-essential notifications. Do I need notifications from Instagram on my personal Instagram? Nope. I'll check it when I check it. Number 5, you want to curate your feed a little better. Unfollow or mute accounts that trigger negative emotions. I do this actually a lot. Fuel comparison, don't align with your well-being, make you feel bad about who you are. Choose content that inspires you, motivates you, makes you happy. I'm a sucker for an animal video. I follow multiple accounts. The Dodo's probably my favorite. They have a lot of really positive animal stories. I love them, and that brings me joy. There are accounts that will pop up on my news feed. I will hide or block because I don't need to see that. I'm not here for it. And there are times when I'll go through my friend list, and if I don't know you in real life or there's a lot of negative information, I'll snooze them so I don't have to deal with it. Prioritize your real life connections. Make a conscious effort to spend quality time with your friends and family offline. It's good for your brain. It's good for your mental health. Number 7, you want to take regular breaks. Schedule short breaks throughout the day where you completely disconnect from social media. Sometimes easier said than done, but consider longer detox periods to fully rest your brain. I encourage my team to step away from their phone on the regular, especially if you're on vacation. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Be intentional with your engagement before opening social media app. Have a specific purpose in mind. Know what you're going in there to look for. And that kind of helps you avoid mindless scrolling by deciding what you want to check beforehand. Practice self-care, prioritize activities that promote your physical and mental well-being, like exercise, hobbies, mindfulness. Just the more balanced, the better. And then number 10, you have to really kind of listen to how you're feeling. You need to regularly check in and ask yourself, is this giving me anxiety? Is this stressing me out? Do I want to continue to do it? Because, you have to be aware of how it makes you feel. So finding that balance is all about creating a healthy relationship between you and technology so that it enhances your life instead of detracting from your life. So yeah, that's it. Join me next week. We're also still in Mental Health Month. Next week, we're going to be talking about identifying and removing toxic social media habits. So more for your management, your small business owners who are in it all the time. And we will be back. Thank you guys. And until next week, I'm Karen Tauratis with Social U, and I'm here to help. Thanks.
Thanks for joining us for the Social University podcast. We hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to follow us on all of our social media at Stay Social U. That's the letter U. And we will talk to you next week. Remember, you've got this.